Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me. I'd like to bring you an update to a story I brought you last night pertaining to 6 people gunned down in a home in Indianapolis. If you need verification for the storyline, please log on to WISHTV.com. Juvenile arrested after 6 killed in shooting. No other suspects believed to be involved. The Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department has arrested a suspect in the Adams Street homicide case. IMPD says a juvenile suspect has been arrested in the case. IMPD does not believe any other suspects were involved. IMPD initially responded to the 3300 block of East 36th Street on a report of a person shot. Officers found a juvenile boy who had been shot. He was taken to a hospital and is expected to survive. The boy who was shot and the suspect are not the same person, according to IMPD. Further investigation led officers to a home in 3500 block of Adams Street. 6 shooting victims at that location died. Kezzie Childs, 42. Raymond Childs, 42. Raymond Childs Jr., Elijah Childs, 18, Rita Childs, 13, and Kiera Hawkins, 19, and her unborn son died in the shooting. Hawkins was transported to a hospital alive, but neither her nor her unborn son were able to survive the shooting. Yesterday, we promised swift justice for this heinous act. Today, we delivered on that promise, IMPD Chief Randall Taylor said in a statement. While removing the alleged perpetrator of yesterday's mass murder from our neighborhoods does not bring back the lives senselessly lost, hopefully it will bring us one step closer to healing as a community. I am grateful to all of the IMPD officers and criminal justice partners who have worked tirelessly for the last 30-plus hours to bring justice for these victims, their friends and families, and our entire community. I ask community members to join me in praying for the continued recovery of the young man whose life has been forever changed. IMPD has not released the juvenile's name, age, or mugshot. On Sunday, Taylor called it the largest mass casualty shooting in more than a decade in Indianapolis. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett issued this statement. Today's announcement is the first step toward justice for the senseless acts that cut short the lives of 6 of our neighbors in the early hours of Sunday morning. While nothing can bring back the child's family, I hope that the swift action of the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department offers some comfort to all of those who have been left to grapple with this tragic loss. My thanks go to the men and women of IMPD whose thoughtful investigative work led to the arrest of the suspect, and my prayers are with the family, friends, and community impacted by this devastating act of violence. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett. Okay. And then there was a representative by the name of Andre Carson who took to Twitter and said, I join with all Hoosiers in mourning the deaths of 5 members of our community and unborn child. My office stands ready to help the victims' loved ones any way we can. And that is the said information coming out of Indianapolis, Indiana. The source is WISHTV.com 8 if you need verification for the storyline. So a juvenile has been arrested today in connection to the 6 deaths that took place in this home. 1 juvenile has survived the shooting, and yes, he will need major support from the community. I'm praying that he has some relatives or decent relatives that he can now live with, since now his family has been gunned down tragically. He is going to need a lot of support and healing, so we will pray for him, and my condolences to the family, to the child's family. This is a tragic day in America because it's the first of the year, new month in the year, and we still have people who just refuse to try to get along, obey the law, live civilly amongst other citizens. And now we have a child murdering an entire family and another attempted murder of a child, including an unborn child. And another child was in the house that was 13. So you have all these people that were gunned down inside of a house. And one girl, 19, loses her life at the hospital with her unborn child. I don't know what this was about. I don't know what was his reasoning for killing these people. To me, it was a senseless act because, as I stated in my video last night, what did you gain? Whatever your reasoning was, what have you gained now? You've been apprehended. And you will spend your entire life in prison I doubt that they would ever give you parole because you snuffed out 6 people. Not 1, but 6. I'm also curious to know if the article I read before this stated they hadn't decided or come to a conclusion if the suspect and the young boy that survived, if they were connected in any type of way. But when I get information pertaining to a connection and or update, I will bring you that said information. But I am curious to know, curious if this suspect, this juvenile suspect, knows the family, knows the young boy who survived, if this was a personal issue between the two. What was the reason? Because who would not ask why? At this point, I mean, I'm asking why. Because it was heinous, it was cruel, and unnecessary. Unnecessary. Because my thing is, whatever issues he had with whomever in that home, you could have just moved on. Let it be. Obviously not. I will bring you an update to this story when I get more information. And thanks for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. This is Everyday Shenanigans.